And my name is Danny Ross, and I'm going to be your host on this Thursday edition of the AI Lunch and Learn. Let me go ahead and share my screen for everybody. All right, I think we're almost there. I'll allow to talk. Hey, Annette, I just clicked the button. You can come off mute. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I was just saying hello, but
We do this at noon in three different time zones. Tuesday is 12 noon Eastern, Wednesday 12 noon Central, and Thursday 12 noon Pacific, which is what we're doing today. If you miss, this is where you can go and register and add to your calendar. If you miss any of the calls, please just go back and look at the recordings. I try to get these up here the week after. So this week we'll be there by the end of this week tomorrow, and we'll be catching up on all the exciting events this week. And again, I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. What I want to talk about today is kind of a continuation of where we were yesterday. I'm also going to introduce you to a document which I will be adding at the end of the lessons into the overall resources that are available on the website. And if you are curious about what that document is, hold on just a second. Let me bring this up here. This page, this document is called Magic Landing Page Formula. And what we're going to use it for is kind of a guideline of the overall building of a website. It contains about 15 steps that cover the essentials of what you should have in any either website or more specifically, any landing page that you're maybe using as a sales funnel. These are the core elements that you absolutely need to have in that discussion. So we're going to step through it. We actually did a few of the steps before I brought the document in because I wanted to kind of show you using these tools to create ultimately what you're going to be putting on your website. For headlines and what we call magic hooks, these are apps that are built into the platform. So let me go back here and it kind of lays it out. So this is why the app that we use to create headlines, get their attention, and whether you're going to use it in a Facebook ad, whether you're going to use it on your website, your sales funnel, it's highly important. So as you go through the document, the importance of the particular step has star ratings on it. So you know, okay, I need to make sure this is an absolute requirement. And if we take a look at any website, you will see that there's that attention grabbing headline or at least a good explanation of what that website's product or service is all about. And you can get those suggestions right out of the Magic Hook app. And if I go back to, we were working on, let's see, Graceful Threads. There we go. So this is the document that we're working on. This is actually Annette's website. So we're going to continue building on this. But we had some headlines that we are using to create the website. And right now we're at the very, very early stages of building that website. And so these are the magic hooks directly from the app, and you can see they're pretty good. And so we're going to continue down the line here and just making sure we get all of the different pieces right into it. All right. So that's kind of how it works. Use the app to get the piece that you need, and then you present it directly into your website. And so the website that we're building, let's go back here. All right, so I have way too many logins for different people, including myself. So I just got to find the right one here. And it is a very long password, especially when you mess up typing it. You got to do it again. All righty, I think we have finally gotten through. There we go. All right, so we'll bring this back over, and there we go. All right. So let's jump right back in. And we were down here somewhere. Give me one second. Get this sliding down. There we go. And we were working on this page. This is the Graceful Threads So this is as far as we've gotten so far. So we dropped in the logo yesterday, we dropped in the first headline, and then we dropped in the sub headline. So we're kind of going for, and let me create a duplicate. Again, pro tip, just if you're using Chrome, just click duplicate, and that allows you to bring up a second instance of the website or platform. And I'm going to exit this version of it and go over here down to a different funnel that we're kind of following along as an example, if you will. All right. And I think it was, which one did we do yesterday? This one here. Example funnel. There we go. So we want to kind of follow along in this. And so let me go back a step and explain the logic. In the website builder, we have pre-built funnels for you to give you examples or templates that you can use. And so you can go in and replace the logo placeholder with your logo, for example. You can pick anything. I'll just use this image for now. And there you go. So that logo has been replaced. And so I know that I could use this template, make changes to it, and then release it or save it and publish it as my website. But I'm going to step you through how to build it from a white piece of paper or a blank page, just so you understand what you're editing. It makes it go a lot faster. So even if you do want to use a template, it's great for you to follow along in this lesson so you actually understand what you're doing, whether you build it from scratch or you take an existing template and modify it. Both are acceptable ways to get your website done. If you don't want to be a website builder, using a template and putting your content in is a perfectly acceptable way to build out. As a matter of fact, I'm in the process of building out a rebrand of the Build Biz website right now. There we go. So I'm actually using a template here that I'm rebuilding so I can get this version, a new version of the Build Biz website, because I've changed all of the branding, so I'm redoing it. Secondly, I built it in an older website builder, so I'm building it in the new one, and I do love this new one, so I'm laying it out, I'm building it out, and as you can see, some of the pieces haven't been done yet. This is a template that I'm using, and I'll go in and edit it. So again, nothing wrong with using a template. If you're a business owner, you've got a million things that you got to get done, use the templates. Watch this video first, though, because then you'll get all of the tips and tricks, and it'll save you a lot of time when you're trying to edit it. So we've gotten the logo done, we've got the header done, and just got past the subheader. So we're going to next work on. Let me move this around a little bit so I know where I'm at. There we go. We'll pull this over there. And then we have this one here. Okay, cool. So let's go back through the components of a web page in case you missed yesterday's a little bit. On the very outside, and usually not usually, it'll show in a sort of a purple mauve, whatever color you want to call it. On the outside is your biggest container. And then, so it's called a segment. And so if you, for example, this plus sign here says, I want to add a segment. That's what the purple is. So think of it as a big container that holds all of your other components for that segment or section. If you want to use the word section, that's fine too. The next thing I have on this template is a row. As a matter of fact, when you are using it, it'll be blue. That's the row. And so if I click on that one, whoops, my mouse is acting up. There we go. So if I click on that, it literally tells you what each thing is. That's one of the nice things about this builder. It helps you understand what you're looking at. So this is a one column row. And in the one column row, we have one thing. We have this image. And in this case, it's the placeholder for the logo. In the case of Annette's, if we look at the big picture here, we have this container in purple. Then we go down to the one row where we have her logo, which is the Graceful Threads logo. Same exact layout we're using as an example. You can do this many, many different ways, any way you want, but I want you to understand the components that go into building out a website. Have the outside box or container called a segment. Then in there, you place your other main components. You have, like in this case, a logo. In this case, you have another row, all right? Another row here, it's blue, right? In the row, instead of a logo, the component we have is a header and a subheader. And again, if you click on it and click the gear here, it'll tell you it's a headline. If I click on this one and click the gear, it'll tell me it's a subheadline. So it'll actually tell you what each of the components are that you have. So now that we've got that out the way, let's go ahead and have a little fun and keep going here. So we have our headline, we've got our subheadline. The next thing we placed in the container is a video. So let's do the same thing in Annette's. So we're going to go right here. We're going to add another component. So you just hover here, say, hey, I want to add something. I want to add a component. And in this case, I want to bring in a video. Again, on the right, for those who missed yesterday, you have the most used. They're going to float to the top here or be pinned to the top. And then under each section, you have different kinds of text. You have headers, subheaders, bullet points, quotes, text blocks. Under media, you have images, videos, a sound player, audio player. You have forms where you can build out your forms, checkboxes. You can add all these different components to your checkbox. You have checkout, which is kind of your e-commerce functions. You can have a two-step order, a single-step order, credit cards, a link, whatever you want to put in there. Countdown. So again, countdown, calendar, meaning years and days, minutes and hours and days. So you have this countdown one contains both our minute timer and a day timer, whereas the countdown is kind of like a compressed version. It has both in it. You have your AI components, and we're going to add more and more of these. So we built out Annette's Magic Hooks using the Magic Hook app, right? In this case, you can get that access to that app directly from within the browser, so the web builder, so you don't have to keep going in and out or have two tabs. So that's really cool. It's going to start adding these AI functionalities. You can build a hero image, you can build FAQs right in the website builder. And then down below, we have some different ones. You can add some icons, which are just symbols, if you will. You can add custom code here, and we'll talk about that later. You can add a menu. So if you're building a website with multiple pages, that's what you would use navigation for. So think of it's your menu system. But in this case, we're just building one page for right now. So it's just going to be a single page. We won't need navigation to other pages. All right, let's go back up and dragging the video. So you just put it where you want. You can put it in the middle, you can put it up top. And for right now, we're going to put it at the bottom. If I can get it to line up here. There we go. So we have our video, and this is the video here. So the first thing you're going to see is this video is taking up all of the space within there. And that's fine, by the way. There's nothing wrong with that. But we may want to add some padding and kind of make it fit a little better. So if we go back here and we look at this section as we've laid it out, you have the headline, subheadline, and then you have this video right here. So if we look at the settings for the video, you can see it has the top margin of 30. So that's between the component that's above it and below. So you can kind of space it down a little bit. It's a type of video, in this case, YouTube. Autoplay is off, controls, things like that. You can kind of see. And then you can set the width. So in this case, the width is 50%. And that's the key element that I was looking for that I want to show you. So that's the width. But you can play around with height. You can play around. You can set it to whatever you want it to be from a look and feel of it. And it's the same thing with some of the other features. You can put a border around it. In this case, it has a blue border. You can pick a color for your border. And then you can play around with some animations and things like that. You can put some padding on each side. But because we're already restricting it to 50%, we really don't have to worry about padding. So padding can either be above, below, on the sides, left and right, that kind of thing. So you can play around with how you want to lay that out. Anyway, let's go back to Annette's now. We're going to click on the video. We've got the initial kind of overlay information that we just talked about. So the first thing we need to do is decide what kind of source we're going to use for the video. So you can have a YouTube, a Vimeo, a Wistia, HTML5, so you can embed it kind of thing. So, and if we pick, say, YouTube, and I'm just going to use a sample video for right now, simply because we don't want to take the time to go build one right this second, because I'm just trying to get through laying this all out for you. But I'll just put in a YouTube URL. Let me go find one here quickly. I'll use this one. And no, this is not going to be the permanent one. We're just using it as a placeholder for right now. Just like we have a logo placeholder, we're going to have a YouTube placeholder. And you can put it on autoplay, so it'll play automatically. You can decide whether it's going to have controls showing. Remember, we're going to do percent on our holding optional width, right? And so you don't have to do that, but again, for layout purposes, we kind of want to have that. So 50% is what we're going to use for our width on the video. And as I said yesterday, pro tip, if you lose internet, if you lose power, if there's lots of things that can happen. So when you've done a significant amount of anything, you want to always go here and click on the save button. And also you need to click the save button before you can do the next step of preview. So this is our friendly gorilla in sunglasses playing the guitar. And the reason I'm laughing is we use the AI movie tool. I teach a class on Wednesday evenings to some students in Chicago. And as one of the examples, I asked the students to give me an idea for a prompt for a video. And that's what they came up with. A friendly gorilla in glasses in front of the waterfall. It's kind of a rip on the previous video. Anyway, the point being, we can add some music to it, but again, this is just showing you how you can drop any video into the platform. All right, let's keep moving along. We're having fun building out this website. So the next thing we have that's important, and what we're designing, if you're old enough to remember newspapers and reading newspapers, there was a technique where the most important part of the newspaper occurred above the fold. So if the newspaper it was folded in half, placed on a newspaper stand, and you were picking it up and looking at it, everything really, really important that day was above the fold. And you also want the same kind of layout for your website, where the most important things occur just as I land on your website or your sales funnel before I have to start scrolling. I want to get a really good idea of everything. So in web lingo, this whole section is called the hero section. It delivers a lot of information about your business in the shortest amount of time. So you have a headline that's eye-catching, subheadline that explains a little more. You have a video that goes into more detail, and these days people like videos to explain things. You have a button, or which is what they call a call to action, which in this case says schedule a consultation, right? And grab an early bird discount. So again, you're giving them a reason to click the button. And that's what we want to do here as well. We want to give them a reason on Annette's website to click the button. So we'll drag it right below the video. And you can pick the color, you can pick the shape, you can put what the text actually says. And so we're going to go set all of those things up right now. So first thing we want to do is we want to set up the action. So you can have it submit a form, you can have it pop up a form, you can have it go to a website URL. So if you want it to go somewhere, maybe you have a calendar app or something, and you want it to go to that calendar app so they can schedule a call with you. You want to go to a next page, scroll down somewhere on your website, any of the above. So in this case, we're going to want it to do a pop-up, right? So we're going to have to build that pop-up because we don't even have that yet. So the action that it's going to do is it's going to pop up something. And so we need to actually define that pop-up, and we'll do that in a little bit. And so this is where we want to say, in the case of what we want through a call to action, it could be something as we can set up a call. So schedule a call, something as simple as that. We can put in subtext, meaning the next line, let us plan. No, we don't want to plan an event. Let us help you build memories or something like that, right? Schedule a call, let us help you build memories, something like that. It's mainly I want to show you how it is laid out. You can pick a font for the text. You can pick the size. So, for example, you can make it a little bigger, right? You can make it a little smaller. And then the subtext size, same thing. You can make it larger, smaller, that kind of thing. And then you can pick the colors for the text and for the background. The other thing you can do is use themes. And what's nice about themes is it speeds up the process. So, for example, here we have our buttons here. And again, we kind of have these colors, and I don't think I remember yesterday saving the color, but let me check and see. Hold on just a second. I know we use the color here, so we can use it again. Let's go here. And actually, let me see something. Let's use a theme. Blue's not horrible. You do want your call to action button to stand out, right? You do want it to be slightly different. You can play around with the colors. You can play around and see what matches. Just try different looks and feels until you get the one that you like, that kind of thing. So there's no right or wrong. You can create a 3D button. But these are what's just called themes that kind of help you get where you want to go. So let's say we wanted it to be round, but we don't like the blue color. We can still pick that as a starting point. It takes care of rounding the edges and all that fun stuff. And then we can go into the color. So let's go back to this color here because I know this was a custom color. The background color itself. Let's go in here. And it was this color here. So again, if you want to be consistent, you can use the same color mapping or color hex code, right? So I'm gonna grab that color and then I'm gonna go back to my button and then I'm gonna apply it in my button. And so I have this color, but it's a little bit too light. It's a little too light, so I can go a little darker, for example. So you can get the color that you want to go by just clicking around here until you find exactly where you want it to be. Okay, so it just depends. I think we want to have a contrast color. Let me get my little handy dandy tool here. This particular tool is called the Color Picker, and it allows me to work and find the exact color that is on a screen anywhere. So I use it a lot. Whoops, let's move this here. Pardon me. So if I go in here, this is the information about it, and you can see a little information, where to find it, and all that kind of fun stuff. So this is the tool, if you will. Let's see if it actually goes anywhere here. And I'll grab the link and put it in the chat. If it does, I don't think it does anymore. Yeah, it's kind of an old one. I'll find a link for it and put it in the chat for you. I don't want to spend too much time looking for this. Is the interface design? This is an old app. I got it so long ago. I don't even remember where I got it. So that's why I said, let me find a link for you and I'll bring it in here for you. I'll give it to the class. Anyway, let me just grab the color that I want to use. And I want to use the kind of goldish color. So let's try this color here. And as soon as I put it into the tool, it gives me the information and I can drop it in here. Ah, that looks pretty good. So you see, it's coming from the logo. We have different colors from a sort of a black to a sort of a light purplish color, mauve, whatever. And then we have like a gold color. And we can ask the AI to give us colors that match with this and match with that, by the way. So you can go with colors that are similar to what you have without being overwhelming. And so you can see now you can pull from the purplish pinkish color or you can pull from the gold color, and it's subjective. This is when we're all done, it's what you like and what you think will be nice for your visitors. So there's no right or wrong. It is just simply working with the page until you like it and where it is. Another thing that we could do is we could take some of the imagery that we're using to build out our website and put it behind in these backgrounds. And I'll show you what I mean a little bit later. So you can use an actual image that you want to use behind these sections, similar to this one. So in other words, this one has an image in the background. And so it's the text here and this video is sort of floating on this background. So that's another way to design your site. If you want to have the header section have a background, that's perfectly fine as well. So we'll play around with some of those options as we go through this. I want to keep building out the elements of it. So we have this call to action button, which right now we'll create what's called a pop-up. And so we need to go build out that pop-up. So let's go edit the pop-up. Actually, let me see if I can. Yep, there's nothing in it right now. So we want to actually go build it out. So the way that you build it out is pretty much as you would probably guess at, right? So when I pop this out, if I want to get things and add it to it, I need to add a new row. I can add a 1 column row, a 2 column row, 3 column row, just like anything else. And so I can drag in a row. I can add a component, in which case probably a header, right? So, and it can be the same thing. Schedule a call with us, right? Something like that. It can be say anything you want it to say. And then I could bring in another component, another row, respectively, right? So I can say I want to have a header, right? Oh, I already did a header. Sorry. Whoops. I want to add a subheader now. There we go. Right? Something as simple as that, just telling them what you want them to do. Or you can be selling. You can say, you could put in, fill out this form to receive 20% off. You could do all kinds of fun things with this. And you're just building a pop-up. And so now we're going to add another component. And in this case, the component we might add is a contact form, right? So we can get the button, the input, select box, test area, checkbox, and so on and so forth, right? So you can add any of these different types of things that you want to get. So we could drag in an input line, right? So here's your email, give us your email address. We can add another component. We can bring in, let's see, we want another input box, right? Because we want to get more than just the, oops, did I miss it? Sorry, I must have just missed it. It's bouncing around. Sorry about that. My mouse is fighting me today. Let's try this. We'll do it the old school way. All right, let's building another one. There we go. All right, so for each one of these, you're going to want to add your own settings to them, and I'll show you how to do that. So I just have an input field here, another input field, and the fast way to do this, by the way, and I want to show you, is just clone it, right? So maybe this is going to be their name, their email address, and their phone number, right? So now you would just go into settings, and you can determine the input type, right? Full name, first name, last name. I always recommend that you grab these separately. So I would say let's make this one first name. And what's nice is once you click on the settings and you pick which one it is, last name, for example, and this one, email address. Um, you can drop in email address, and I would add one more simply because it's the easiest thing to do. And I would get their phone number, right? And you can decide if any of them, so I'll go back here. You can determine whether they're required or not required. Certainly for name and email address, those are minimum that you're going to need. So you want to make sure those are all required. This one, we want to make email address. There we go. And we want to make that required. So we can leave phone number as not required. That's okay, but certainly you want to ask for it. If they don't want to give it, that's fine. It doesn't have to be required. So you can still have a form where it does these things, and then if they don't want to give it, it's still their choice. And that increases the likelihood people will share their information. People will give you their email address before they give you their phone number. So, for example, that form is pretty much built out. You need a button. Or else it's not going to do anything when you get done. So we need a button, and this button will do a couple of things. So you have the click here, right? And so you can change that to submit or whatever you want to call it, right? Thank you, right? Something like that, friendly. And then you have to edit the action of what happens. It can submit the form. It could do another pop-up, which of course you wouldn't. It could go to a website, same thing, same options. In this case, we wanted to submit the form. So basically, they fill out their info, boom, it submits the form, and it drops it into the CRM system, and you're pretty much good to go. So that is super simple. That's how you build a form. All right, so we'll take that form and say, hey, I just built my first form. So we'll keep that. We'll save because we always want to save. And we'll go out here and take a look at it. So we have graceful threads. We've got our little video. We've got our schedule call button. We can fill it out. I'll be guinea pig here, all right? And it'll fill it out, phone number, and submit. This site has not been published yet, so it's not going to actually go anywhere yet. But I think you see the actual fun part of this. So, and then what you want to do is we're going to create a thank you page for everybody who visits the site and fills out the form, right? So I think we've got the basics of it and we're making progress. So I'll stop here. Anybody have any questions? All righty. So the next thing we want to do is continue building out. So the next section can be multiple things. It could be your benefit section. It could be your feature section. It could be anything that you need on your website. So let's go back to our components list. We know that we've already done a benefit section. So let's go take a look at that. And so if we bring this back over, we have our magic hook, which are headlines, which we did. We have a hero image, and so we can create our hero image. We've already decided we're going to use a video, so but we can create a new video for the website. And then we have our logos and press mentions. We created our main logo. As this is a brand new business, we really haven't been seen on any major news site. So again, if you're a new business, by the way, don't let this bother you. I think I mentioned this yesterday, but if you are brand new, the thing to do is start your business, get your business going, and every time you close a deal and you deliver the product or solution, ask for a referral. And the way to get the referral done is not to make the customer do the referral. You can either just talk to them and say, hey, how did you like the service? And they'll say, it was great. It was fantastic. You did a great job. And you just say, hey, is it okay if I put your comment on my website? I won't use your full name. I'll just use your first name and the last initial. Is it okay if I do that? And most people will say yes. And then you can go a step further and send it to them and make them, have them send back something and say, hey, feel free to add more. Again, you've done all of the heavy lifting already. And then the third way to do it is if you're on a Zoom call with them, say, hey, do you mind giving me a video testimonial? I'm already recording our Zoom call. And you just ask them, hey, what did you think of the service? Do you mind sharing that? And they'll tell you. You record it, get the little clip of it, and boom, you've got a video testimonial, which is the best option if you can get it. All right. So there's multiple ways to get those testimonials done. And so please keep trying to get those. Secondary hooks, we have both plus and negative hooks for this website. So we can go back and look at some more of those. And this is where I was up to right now, the benefit stack. As you can see, 5 stars, super important. It's really important that you get the benefit stack done. It's showing the customer value, prioritizing your key benefits, and then why people love your product or service. All right, so we do have some of those already done. So let's take a look here. And it's right here. There we go. So we have our benefit stack of reasons why people want to do business with you. So the way the layout is here, it's a little bit hard to read. So let me fix that. And we have quite a few reasons why you want to do business with us. So I'm just going to lay it out with some little bullets here, make it easier to kind of separate them a little, make it a little bit easier to read. So avoid generic styles, right? We inspire designs from significant others. So these are very similar to what we did for the headline. Timely design and delivery, memorable family reunions. Okay, yep, that's the one we used before. So again, timely designs, quality material. So we need to pick 3 to 5 of these. So it's the headline is the same, but the benefits part of it is a little bit different. But we can pick 5 of these to benefits, right? And so when we did our pain points, let me see if it was up here. So we were talking about the mistakes. These are the top 5 mistakes. Choosing generic design. Here's the problem. Here's the solution. We talked about underestimating the timeline. We talked about overlooking quality, ignoring feedback, and then skipping the satisfaction guarantee, making sure you have that. So those are problems in starting the business, and we define those. So we have our headlines, and so we can pick from the benefit stack the ones that we like, that we want to use as the most important benefits. All right, avoid generic styles. Timely design and delivery. I think that one is a really good one to have. Quality material, I think that's important. Inclusive design, I think that's good. Guaranteed satisfaction, stress-free planning, ensures improved family bonds, unique keepsake memories, holistic, generational value for money, personal family heritage. And I'm just reading through here quickly. Comfort of all, which grabs me. All right, I think the first 3, not the first 3. This this one is definitely what I like. This one here and this one here. I think all 4 of those are really good benefits that we should include. So again, we'll go back here and the way that they've laid it out, they've actually got it as separate little pieces, which is fine. You can do that as well, or we can just drag in a new benefit stack. It is a component that you can drop right in. So I think we'll do that. Let's actually see what some of our options are. So let's grab a component. We're going to add a new component. Let's see. I think we want either a bulleted list or a text block. I'm trying to think. Yeah, let's try some bullet points and see what we get. So we'll drop it right here. And settings wise, you can select a font. You can pick an icon for it. You can pick a numbered list or an icon list. And then there's themes. You can pick a theme so you don't have to do this one step at a time. So the way that they kind of listed it out there, these circles are kind of nice since we kind of have rounded corners. Let's see what this looks like. That's not too bad. Then you got colors. You can kind of pick some colors. That's not too bad. Let's see, ordered list. Let's change it to icon list. And then let's go back. There we go. So when you change it to icon list, now you have the check marks. So again, you can pick different styles of check marks. Why am I not getting them to change to... Oh, interesting. There we go. But we're still just getting... Oh, I see what happened. I have to check. I have icon list here. That's good. Bulleted space. Text. Where do I get to pick the icon? I lost my icon. Uh, so it is doing the colors. The only issue we have is the actual icon that is dropping in. All right. I like the circle, and that is good. Miscellaneous icon picker. I knew there was one here somewhere. So you can pick the icon from the list, and then you could type if you want to just have it search for you. What's nice is you can have almost anything. I'm just kind of wandering through this to see if I see anything of interest. Settings. So we're going to do icon list, themes, and miscellaneous. We can pick a one for each one. And we'll do shirt. And by the way, this is truly subjective. You can use anything you want. There's different flavors of the check mark. There's full, there's a circle, there's a square. So let's do, we want to have the circle, and then we'll come back and change the color in a second. We can pick the icon. We can pick check again. So this is really detail nitty picky. I didn't necessarily want to get this level of detail today, but we're just going to fill it in so that we have it. And we'll get done with it this way. But you're seeing kind of how to make the bread or whatever the terminology is. And so now that you've got the icon done, you can kind of move on from there. And then you can just fill in the text. So if we have some text, again, we can paste it. And so it'll drop them in, but it won't put there we go. Get rid of that. And drop that there. And we need one more. So we have four altogether. And so the text is laid out. And we can drop these in here. And we can fix the layout by either copy pasting it in one at a time or just kind of going with what we want. So inclusive is the next one. And so you can copy paste them in and then highlight them and then select what you want them to be. So make sure you get it all properly laid out. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just the way that you like to do these things. All right. And we'll grab the guaranteed satisfaction is the last one. And grab that there. And this is the last one there. And so you can lay it out. You can change the font. You can change the bold, not bold. You can put underline. You can say if it's left or right, justified. You can lay them out any way that you want to lay them out. Same thing with, I kind of, like I said, you can take these and drop them into the layout that's already here, for example. So I'm showing you different ways to get these in here, right? So I have my timely design and delivery, my quality, comfort, just pasting them in. So I'm not changing this design, for example, which is a numbered design, right? I'm just dropping them in. Inclusive design input. These are all benefits of doing business with us. We want to duplicate. So this is another way to do this. So I can take these are the basic components of this, and I could say, I like that one, right? So if you hover over it, this is a subheadline, and I duplicate or clone it, I can clone it. And here's something interesting. It does allow drag and drop, so you can drag it to where you want the fourth one to be, right? And so this would be number 4 now, right? Kind of lining it up. So these are manual bullets, by the way. And you can click on this one and you can see at the font size is 22 and the top margin is 20. So this one, we just need to do the same thing, right? So we can say to this one, you're doing well, but you're in the wrong place, right? So you can click on settings and you can drag it to 20 or you can type in 20. So this one, we want to copy this one to get that fourth bullet in there. And again, we can drag it down to the bottom. So now we have timely design and delivery. And so we need to go back up here and change this one to guaranteed, right? Guaranteed satisfaction. Oops. We got timely, we got quality. Let's make sure we get them all down here. So we operate. There we go. Let's grab this one. Control C or Control X, it doesn't matter. I'm on a Mac, so it's Command. And so these are shorter than the example text. And there's a lot to be said for having short text versus long text. So it's just really one of those design things. People really don't like to read too much. So if you can, in your benefit statement, be succinct and get right to the point, that's never a bad thing from the standpoint of the way people are. So here we want, and we want to, let's see this part here. We're gonna match up the style with the satisfaction guarantee, and there we go. And we'll get the last one and grab that. And so you just want to make sure whatever you're doing is consistent. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one happens to be bolded, and these are not. They actually should be. Let me take that back. So we'll make all of this bold and make these bold. So if I had made them bold before I copy or cloned them, then you would get the same thing. Also, the fonts are different. So in our design, I think we went back yesterday and we set up what is our headline font and what is our content font. You do that here in settings. You go to typography and you can pick a font. So we hadn't done that yet. So that's why they're all a little different. Consistency is a good thing. You only want to use about 2 fonts for any of your design. And that you should have said something. I'm designing in the other sample. It's only Thursday and it's been a long week. You should have said, "Hey, Danny, you're working in the wrong one. Come on, Annette, you got to work with me here." Say, "Hey, Danny, you're in the wrong one," and that's funny. So we can go ahead and do the same thing that we were doing just a minute ago. So we can put in, again, either a full width or a wide. So that we go back here, we can see what they're doing here. We have our component, we have our settings, and then this one is our row. So that's one row. This one is in this row, right? Which is, this is a single column row. Okay, so you can see just one column in that row. And this one actually is a 2 column row. So if I click on the blue here and go to settings, it'll tell you right at the top, 2 column row, and the width is 80% to match the 80% that we have above. So we want to drop in 2 rows worth of stuff. So we're going to do the same thing in our template. Let's drag in a new segment below this one that we're working in. Right, so now we have a new segment here, and we're going to add the header row that we're going to use, and we're going to make this one a 1 column first, and we're going to build that out. We're going to drop in a component, which will be a header. So now we have this header headline, right? And your headline can be almost anything. In this one, it's solving your key problems. But this is kind of like the negative side of selling, and we are doing a positive side. So our headline is more, let's do one of our benefits, right? We're going to keep these 4, right? And we're going to do one of these headlines. Create lasting memories, celebrate every occasion. So yeah, we want to steal what we from what we're already working on. Makes sense, right? So up here, we have memorable family reunions, make a gathering. So let's take another one. Let's steal another one from our list. And we'll actually keep track of these now. Create lasting manner, memories that are thoughtfully designed. So we already have this one. And then you have celebrate every occasion with meaningful applying, the last a lifetime. Love that one. We'll grab that one. And we'll also highlight them. That's where we know which ones we've already used, keeping track in the document. So again, the document is very useful because it lets you just move forward quickly and not have to keep think that in this stage we want to have our headlines done, our benefit stack done, our images done, so we can go ahead and just drop them into place on our web page. So that's what we're doing. So let me go back here and I'm going to paste the match styles. Okay, perfect. So celebrate every occasion with meaningful apparel that lasts a lifetime. So that's the headline. And now we're going to drop in another component. And in this component, we're going to drop in again, either bulleted. We're going to actually, sorry, let's go back a step. I need to add another row. We're going to add a row. And in this one, we're going to make a 2-column row right below that where we were. So we're going to drop it right there. So now we have 2 columns. So the one on the right, we're just going to drop in an image. So we're going to add a component. And you can just click on it to add the component. You don't have to keep going to the top menu. So we're going to drop an image on the right here. And that's where we're going to drop in an image. And then on the left, we're going to drop in the list. So you can either do just text, you can drop in text block, you can drop in anything that works for you. Let's see what a text block looks like. See, it's just a block of text, right? Or we can drop in a bulleted list. So again, let's go here. Let's grab a bulleted list and drop that in here on the right. So now that we have our bulleted list, we want to go back and drop in the text that we have created for this wonderful, wonderful thing. So let's go back here. Let me see something. I'm curious. Yeah, we have our benefit stack, and we decided we were going to start with these 4. And so let me undo. I'm going to undo 2 things here. And the reason why is from a formatting point of view. There we go. That's better. All right. So we're going to grab these without the formatting and see what happens when we drop them in. Nope, it did not do what I was hoping it would do, which is fine. So we know that quality is the second one. So that's interesting. It just grabs it and throws it down there. That's very weird from an editing point of view. All right, so we needed 4 of them anyway. So we have 4. We got timely design and delivery. That's great. And then the second one is actually this one here. Grab it, drop it there. And then we have the third one, which is inclusive design input. We'll grab that one and drop it. Oops, I always get the I in there somehow. And so this. So we have inclusive. Grab the I in there. All HTML editors are a little different. Yeah, this one is definitely has a few quirks, which you find out by playing with them. There we go. That's much better. Go. Perfect. All right, so we've got those 4. And let's see how they're lining up. So you can look at your page after you've put them in there. So we've got our 2 columns. And you can see that they're both going all the way to the edges. And so all that means is that the row itself is going from end to end, right? So we can go in and change the settings on the row so that it is not 100%. That's one of the things we know. We wanted it to be 80% to line up with this one, right? And we could do the same thing with this one, even though it's not really necessary, but we can. So we can make sure that it goes the width that we want it to go as far as the text. You can play around with colors. You can change the colors. So like for instance, this is a good line to maybe make more effective as far as colors go. Instead of it being black, you want it to stand out a little more. You can make it that color. You can make it bold, right? So it stands out more. And then your settings here for your text here, you can go in and play around with the fonts. You can play around with the actual sizes, the bullet spacing, the left margin, anything that you want to play around with to make it fit. So we know that we have an image on the left and on the right, we have some text. So we can kind of line it, make it a little bigger so they kind of line up with each other in height, right? That's a nice balanced look on the left and the right. We can make the beginning, right? So let's go in and play around with the settings for typography. So we can go in, again, we have Roboto and Poppins. So this should have been my first clue that I was in the wrong template before because we did set these up yesterday. And then we have our colors, right? So right now the text color is black. And then we had, you can set up theme. You can use the themes to kind of have a consistency there as well. That works fine. So you can have what is that? Montserrat and Roboto as the one you want to use most often and set that up in your theme. The other thing you can do in there we were playing around with is let's say you bring this down here and so you can highlight in your settings here what colors do you want to use for or the styling you want to use for the text. So you can go in here and you can select a bold color, right? So let's say we select I think, let's see, we go with green or gold or this color here. We go with this one. So it automatically could put in whenever you bold something that it goes to this color, right? Or we could use another color out of the palette. And so we know that yesterday we were playing around with this color here. Let's see what that does. You don't want to have too many colors, but we can try that one, see what happens. So what you can do is you go back and now that we've set the bold color, when you click bold, it'll automatically make it that color, right? Which is sort of like a reddish color. And you don't necessarily always want to go with that, but we're just playing around, trying to see what it looks like once we get it all done. So as soon as I make it bold, because I set in that row and in that text box or bullet box that any bold color is that color in this setting here, right? And so that kind of laid that out, and then we can pick an image. And I don't remember if no, I don't think we uploaded any other images. So let's go back to our exercise. Let's see what we have. Excuse me, images we have right now is our logo. So we need to grab some more images. So this is what I meant by you can do all of this based on the things that you know you're going to be building out beforehand. And we kind of did some of that last week and earlier in the week. So we can jump around. Let's get another tab going here. And let's get some images done for our friend here. So let me save this. Again, you always want to uh, save as you go along so you don't lose anything critical. So let's save that work we've done so far before we go messing with things and accidentally lose it, right? And so I think yesterday or in the past, I've shown you how to go into content creation, how to create using hyperrealistic scroll stopping, different types of images that we may want to use. And I showed you also you can have these projects where the things that you create end up being saved under that particular project. So, for example, in hyperrealistic, let's see, I can't remember if we did any. I think we were in Build Biz when we did them all, and that might be where those were. And so you can bring in any of these images that you like. And these are some really good images that different classes we've been playing with. For example, this tree was one that we had done earlier, but we did it in the Build Biz in the 60 minutes class. So it's in that demo, for example. I'm actually going to grab some of these and save them to my desktop because we're going to use them in different places on the website. All right, so PNG is a file format which is really good if you're going to use it where you don't want the background, for example. JPEG is also a good format, but the best one from a size point of view, meaning that it is lighter, smaller, is WEBP. And so when you download, you can download the full size image, or you can make it a little lower quality to make it lighter or easier to load up on the page. Whenever you look at a website, it has all kinds of different things. We're learning about components in the website. Images is one of the most important type of component next to text. The challenge with images is if you have a lot of really big images, it takes a long time for your site to load when people visit your websites. You want to be deliberate with your images, the sizes of the images, how big they are as far as the weight of them, and meaning the size of them, how long it affects your overall site performance. And if people have a bad experience, it takes a long time for the site to load, they get unhappy. So you want to make sure the site loads quickly. Now, this particular website builder has a feature built into it called lazy loading. And what that means is it'll put as much stuff as it can on the screen right away, meaning the text, the lighter stuff first, and then it'll load all your pictures. So like at the hero section, it'll load that first as quickly as possible. And while people are looking at the hero section, it's going to keep loading the other stuff down below. And it just, again, improves performance. And so that's an important feature. So I'm going to download this one. I like this image. And the reason why is I know that it is Annette's preference that she likes her site to be respectful, to be spiritual. You know, it's a big part of her philosophy for what she delivers to her customers. So that's a pretty good image we can use somewhere. Maybe it'll be a t-shirt image or something. This one's a pretty nice image somewhere, a happy smiling person. So we'll download that one as well. And we didn't create this specifically for Annette's website, but it's a nice image. I'll grab it. Here we go. This one was interesting. I think we gave that a 1. We gave this one a 3. Let's see if we have any more that we had created while we were playing around here. I don't think we had any more in hyper realistic. Yeah, these kind of wander off into other topics. Oh, that's another nice one. I'll bring it in. I don't know where we're going to use it. Might be just a t-shirt image that, somebody could maybe be interested in grabbing and getting on a t-shirt. All righty, some scroll stopping stuff. So here's some images that I had created for other parts of the sessions. Net. Does any of these jump out at you as something that you might like to have, anywhere on your website? Oh, are you still there, Nat? Oh, I gotta allow you to talk. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. I forgot. All right. So yeah, just let me know if any of these images kind of work for you.
I like her.
You like her? All right, we'll download her. We might use her somewhere. The WEBP format. And let's see. And let me know if there's any other ones that you see you kind of like. This one is kind of interesting. I'll make it a little bigger.
Okay.
You like that one?
Huh?
All right, we'll grab that one. I think that's a really good image we could use somewhere for just showing kids having fun. I think that's a nice one.
I do the first day of the school for
Hmm.
kids.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
they it's like first day of school and a
Mm,
100 day of school. So
okay, that's great. I'll bring it down just to have it. Again, we'll play around with them. All right, so that one's pretty good. All right, any other ones jump out at you? Let me see. How about some more? All righty. So we got a
what
few.
what
Uh-huh.
is this guy?
Which one?
The guy to the bottom, all the way to the bottom.
This one?
Yes.
No, okay, we'll grab them. All right, very cool. All right, so we have some examples. So now the way that this works, we've played around with kind of typing in things and so on. So what we'll do is we'll go back again to your statements here. Let's go back here. Let's see what we have. We have this one, family reunion. We had all these here. Okay, let's see, personal blurb, very function. Okay, so we'll grab some of this. And like that. And then let's go to the top. I think we had some more stuff up at the top too. And the guy stress-free, if you remember, first landing, comfortable t-shirts. All right. I think we did some of this. Content calendar. Okay, so let's do this. We just need to give it. So in any of these design tools, one of the nice things about them is you can ask it for ideas. So I'm gonna put these under graceful threads. And I'm going to, that way we won't have to keep looking around and around for them. So we could tell it, say something like, create image ideas for us. And then it'll say, describe what your business you're trying to promote. And so we'll drop in this about you and, the kind of thing. And we'll tell it, give me some ideas. I was thinking it might be there in there. Okay. Oh, and let's see what it comes back with. A custom apparel company that specializes in personalized event clothing. A family smiling. So this is the image it's going to create now. A family smiling in matching custom design t-shirts during a picnic. So whenever you decide you use the tools for creating images and you're talking about people, you want to be very specific of what types of people you want to see in your imagery. So if you want to see an Asian family, say, I want an Asian family. If you want to see a diverse family with different ethnicities, say a diverse family. You want to be very specific in what you ask for. So this is not a hero image. We're just building an image that we're going to put on different places in your website. So you can do landscape, which is 16 by 9. It'll go a long way. You can do square, which will give you a square. And then you can do vertical, which can be a 2 by 3 or a 9 by 16 image. So we know already that we're designing an image to go next to this text here. And so it can be square, it can be a rectangle, it can be any of the above. So in this case, I'm going to go for a square image. And let's see what it develops. It's given us 20 ideas. So we'll play around, see what kind of images we get for it. And we're going to wrap this up. We're already, wow, we went an hour and 25 minutes. It's amazing how quickly time can fly when you're doing this. So we definitely went over. So I'll make it 90 minutes and quit while I'm ahead. All right, what is taking so long? I think the platform is that's one thing. If you have a problem with the platform where it's getting kind of slow, just either refresh or go ahead and log out and log back in. So that's not a bad image. The text that's on here is almost perfect, but the images of the family is pretty good. What are you thinking, that?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll take it and we'll say, hey, we like it. And we'll grab it, download that one. Let's see what the next idea is. A business that creates personalized blah, blah, blah. A child proudly holding up a shirt featuring their own drawing. Let's take a look at that.
I only see one image.
Yeah, no, no, we haven't created it yet. It only
Oh,
creates
okay.
them one at a time. Yeah, no, no, it creates them one at a time. So you, like, I just put in the word black here just to make sure we get what we're looking for. And so now it's creating the image for that one. So you have one down here. We got two. So this is how you do it. You have to, it gives you the ideas, and I love that. You can't, you choose your choice, your choose. That's okay. A kid wrote it. It's not necessarily good grammar, but it's a cute image. I like it. I'm gonna download that one too. That is actually pretty cute. That is pretty cute. And so you see what I'm doing. It's just giving me ideas. Close-up of a beautifully embroidered family crest on a t-shirt. Sure, let's take a look at it. You could tell it what colors you want to use or just go for it. Let's see what it comes back with. So hyperrealistic makes very good realistic photo style images, whereas scroll stopping ads is a little bit more creative in the styles that it'll do. So follow 1914. Wow, that's a pretty impressive family crest. I'll grab that one too, because it's just an example of a shirt. It doesn't have to mean anything, but you could say, "Hey, I can do that," right? Whatever. And so it's pretty good. So it's giving you ideas. An apparel business, a group of friends at a reunion wearing shirts with their names in vintage photo. Let's do diverse friends at a family at a reunion. Let's see what it comes back with. So normally when it's just doing this kind of thing, depending on the detail in the image, it'll take shorter time, longer time, that kind of thing. So you just kind of go with it and let it go. If you see it starts to slow down, just go do something else and come back. It just means that it has been busy or something. But this is so far going pretty well. I like this family because, again, what I like about it is it's a diverse, mixed family. This is a good one. I like this one. And the shirts are very nice. Did you do these shirts, Annette? They're actually pretty good, right? It's kind of like what you normally do as well. But
It's spelled wrong.
a rebunion, yeah, that is something that is spelled wrong. And we could fix that. Remember I showed you, you can go into Canva and you can check. So this one is spelled right. That one is wrong. Most of them are wrong with rebunion. So that is a challenge. Okay, we can't use this one unless we go in and fix each one. And yes, we can do that, and it would take a minute. But yeah, we can drop it into Canva. I did like the image.
Yep.
Let's
Can't have shirt spelled wrong.
No, you can't, and that would not be a good thing for you to use in your campaign. So, nice thing about Canva is you can go in. Let's see, is this the right one? Yep. You can go in, you can grab the shirt, you can tell it to use it in a design, custom size, it's already the right size, and then you're into it. It's got the image in here. And then what you do is you click on the image, you click edit, and there's Magic Studio. If you have background, eraser, magic grab, and this one here is grab the text. And you just tell it to grab all the text, and it'll try to grab all of them. Look at that. It got them all, actually. So that's fantastic. So we can probably get this done pretty easily, actually.
Mhm.
I was hoping that, but it actually looks like we can. So let's say all text, grab, and it'll try to grab them. And so now we have the text. We can click off of it, and then we can go in and actually fix each one of the texts so that it reads the right way. All right, hold on. Let me grab this little slider here, make it a little bigger, easier to work with. So we have Rebunion here. So we can change it to, of course, let's see, it's cap lock. So we'll do cap lock. Reunion. And you have different fonts, so you can kind of play around with the font that you want to use. All right, so you can pick a font. It doesn't really matter for this exercise. We just want to get it all done. So this one is Callisto. All right. And see if I copy. No, it's changing the. Oh, no, it's just fixing that. Good. It's keeping the colors of the text. I was hoping that some of them are white and some of them are black. All right. Did I get them all? Yeah, I think I got them all. All right. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
got. I like the diversity of the family. This is a nice picture from that perspective. All right, so we'll save this,
Wait.
download. All right, that's fine. So you can do it just about any way you want. You can put the name of the family. My point is you can edit the text and then save it, and then you have it, so it's ready to go. So I think that the concept that's important is we went from the logo, excuse me, the description of your business to 20 ideas. We got four that we liked that we can use, in here. So actually, let me do this little guy too. Maybe I can fix this word here. I don't know if I can. That might be being greedy. The little kid doesn't have to know how to spell. He's doing his own little shirt. Uh, let's see. Let's open this one. Using a new design, custom size, create new design. He's got that there. Click on the image, click edit, grab the text, and let's see what it does here. Oh, we might be in luck, but we might have to change his font here. Let's see what happens. We'll grab all the text. Let's see what we get. Actually, it didn't work out too badly. So the one thing, it's not as cute if I fix all of his text. Let's go. I cannot, you out the link. Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to say, actually. Yeah. What is he trying to say? Little kid is creative, but I don't know what he's trying to say. I can you out the what do you think he was the I was trying to say he was saying? I really don't know. That is a weird one. This one I know that I think he's trying to say your choice. Wow. I don't know. What do you want to put on the shirt? I can say anything.
Me?
Yeah, what do you want? What do you want the little
Oh,
boy to say? He was trying to say something here. I just don't know. His name is Manny, so we'll leave that alone. But what was he trying to say? I could say something like, I can't pick my favorite or something. Your choice. I could say something like, or maybe, yeah. Who is your favorite, favorite?
friend.
Huh?
Put friend. Who is your favorite friend, Manny?
Okay.
Who is your favorite friend, Manny?
All right. We can say that. That's fine. And so we'll go with that for now. Uh,
Okay.
oops. Undo. And so we'll move that down. All right, cool. We'll make that. And again, it's just going to be a picture, so we don't have to be exactly correct. All right. Who's your favorite friend? Manny. All right. So now we got another picture. All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So we are going to wrap this up. So basically, what you need to do is you would just upload one of the images that you like. And so there's a couple ways you can do it. You can either upload, or if you have the different sections, you can just grab them and see. Yep. So we need this one. And we need
Name still spelled wrong. You say Reunion. To
where?
the bottom, it say Rebellion PNG.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's just the name of the file.
Uh,
That's a good point. We can change it, but we can't fix it here because of the thing here. So we want this one. We want that one. So let's grab this one first. And so that's why it's faster to drag and drop them. Let me just drag and drop them in. Hold on a second. All righty. Downloads. Just one second. fix the name of it. Cool. We got that one. We got that one. Got this one. We got that one. Oh, we didn't fix the text on that one. Bring these in. It's gonna upload those. I hope. Or is it gonna do one at a time? Still gotta do one at a time. Okay. Digital Express, Graceful Threads. I'm gonna put all of these in your folder as well, so we have them. Make sure we get them all. We got that one. We got oh, okay. Where did our buddy go? PNG. Yep, that's the one that they offer. That's what I meant. You can get different styles of sizes and so on. Okay, perfect. It is so funny, the image names that it gives it. All right. We're going to put this one right here. Our little friend. And we will bring in this one. We will bring in, whoops, made it over here. Let's see, we'll bring in this one and we'll upload these all to it so that we don't, next time we need to, we want to come back down. Perfect. So my question is, for the little square on the right of your benefits, do you want to use our children playing? Do you want to use our friend Manny? You want to use a diverse family? Which one do you want to use? I was just asking, do you want to use the diverse family, Manny, the kids playing, or any of the other ones? Which one do you want to use?
I like the kids playing.
Okay, let's use the kids playing. So there you go, right? So now you have the text on the left and you have the kids playing, and we'll save that, and that'll be our last step for this evening. You'll notice that the height of the picture is a little higher than the text, and there's a couple different ways we can fix that. We can either center the text in the middle, or we could just make the text a little bit bigger. So there's lots of different ways you can do it to balance them out. So let's say we made the text a little bit bigger. Perfect, right there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
now it lines up perfectly. And so that's how easy it is. So let's preview the where we are on the website. So we've got the little gorilla playing, and no, we're not going to keep that. We'll create a new video. But then you have this here, and you got the kids playing. So now you got some more colors you can use. So the photos also inspire the colors on your website and vice versa. See how it works?
Yeah, I see they match the colors in my
Hmm.
logo to the
Hmm.
colors.
Exactly. So we'll build off of all of that. All right, that's enough for today, everybody. I hope you had another good lesson, and we'll keep building on this next week. We're getting there. We're going to get this done very, very quickly. All right, everyone, have a fantastic weekend and look for the videos by Saturday. I'm going to sign off now. We went way over time. All
We're
right,
sorry about
everybody.
that.
All right, bye-bye.